People who are really good at this are probably the worst people to get advice from, because people who are really good at something can never explain how they do it for the life of them. They can never, and that's usually one of my first indicators if somebody's really good at something, is that they can't actually articulate it. They can't explain, what they're actually. The third part is calling people back in the correct order after you've actually had an interaction with them. And by the way, Connect and Sell is probably one of the greatest tools for that, because their ability to do follow-ups integrated into all of your different cold lists is just incredible. That there's something that happens there where your number of conversations goes up dramatically because your follow-ups are starting to intersect with your cold calls, and it's amazing how fast calls can actually happen, or conversations can happen in a 1 hour or 2 hour period. Of course, the reasons that we call, we want to build familiarity, gather information, set a meeting, or close a deal. Route, rune, multiply, right? Peripheral targeting. If anyone's paying attention to Justin Michael, referrals, can you help me? Basically calling up with a script where you're actually coming out of the gate looking for the person who you need to be talking to and asking for help. And then there's follow-ups. The idea here is that there's more than one way to skin a cat. And it goes back to, what was on the board here. Where are you? What kind of talent do you have on your team? Do you have message market fit? Do you have product market fit, and so on? And then build your scripts around all of those different components so that you can get to a future interaction or a completion.
I didn't want to take too much of your time, and this is actually what we would discuss on that 10 to 15 minute call. What I do is I use different methods of outbound to reactivate some of your dormant leads. On that call, I'll specifically show you how to run a LinkedIn event for your own company to reactivate those leads. And then if it's something that you like, you could use your own resources to do it, or we could step in with my company and multiply your efforts.
So I was actually wondering, I took a look at took it upon myself to take a look at some of the tools that your team is using for marketing. And I noticed a couple of gaps from the tech stacks that we typically see companies working with who are getting really good cost per lead, CAC, and all of those numbers. So are you happy with the acquisition cost or cost per lead that you're getting right now with your marketing team?
Hey, Shawn, my name is Carla Gridley. I was digging through the tax records here, and I see that you potentially could get about $100,000 of free tax-free money if you let me put your house on the market today. Would you be interested in $100,000 of tax-free money?
I would love to get $100,000 in tax-free money, but I just bought a house the other day.
Oh, man. Okay, perhaps they have not updated the tax records, and the guy who just sold just made a ton of money. All right.
And again, if you're paying attention to what's happening there, I'm creating the space to have a conversation with somebody, which is, I would have fallen off my chair if you got your calendar out, booked some time with me. Nobody ever does out of the gate. Let me ask you real quick, have you even heard of my company, 5 by Noon? Are you familiar with this at all? Saw us in the Super Bowl, on a billboard, a blimp. Again, trying to create this space where people might in their mind be thinking, well, maybe I should. And they come back and say, no, I haven't. Well, perfect. I'm glad I called. Like I said, the reason for my call was to introduce myself. And again, this is the opening is 100% about trying to get that two-way conversation going before we pounce on somebody with, the reason for our call and so on.